Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable. Founded in 2012 with a mission to resolve the growing concerns of application security amongst enterprises, Indusface is a software-as-a-service company that's enabling businesses to build a robust digital ecosystem. Indusface offers a complete application security product suite backed with security experts and claims to be the application security partner and advisor for their customers. Currently, the company secures critical web applications of over 2,000 plus global customers, helping them create an agile and adaptable environment that is profitable to both the enterprise and end users.
Hello and welcome to Startup Angels, movers and shakers of startup ecosystem. My name is Lata Chauhan. Through this series, we bring you the inspiring stories of Indian startups that have created a buzz with their breakthrough products and services. And joining me today is a software as a service startup that's enabling enterprises to both secure and manage their businesses with the right kind of technology. And with me today are the co-founders Ashish Tandon, Nandini Tandon, and Venkatesh Sundar. Thank you, Ashish, Nandini, and Venkatesh for being on the show with us today. Let me start with you, Ashish. You're an ex-cricketer and a Ranji player. You've played with Sachin Tendulkar, and one of your claims to glory is that in one of the matches, you got Vinod Kambli out. This is something really interesting from a sportsman to an entrepreneur. What made you shift your focus from cricket to entrepreneurship?
My cricketing career wasn't too long. I mean, it was just 12 matches, but I was a reasonably good player as well. Like I have got a 5-wicket haul every 3 to 4 matches I played. Moving from cricket to entrepreneurship wasn't that difficult. Coming from a technology background and then brought up in Gujarat, where everybody has business genes within themselves. So transition wasn't that bad. This is actually my third venture. I have done 2 startups in the past, and I've had the good fortune of building them and selling them. I sold one in the telecom space, and the second one was in the security space.
Great to know. And like they say, everything happens for a reason. And I guess you definitely found your true calling in life. Let me come to you now, Nandini. You were heading an internet services business before co-founding Indusface. Clearly, you've had a prior experience and been on the other side of the business. Did Indusface come easy to you?
So, the entrepreneur in me was already alive, and I decided to join in and co-found Indusface. And I do feel that, entrepreneurial ventures are not very different from each other because they all take the same amount of hard work, a robust business plan. And for me particularly, I think for me, self-belief and a huge amount of passion in whatever I do were the strong pillars that kind of pushed me forward. And I do genuinely believe that, ultimately in life, you don't get what you wish for, you get what you work for. And it's been extremely satisfying, extremely rewarding, and I'm very excited for Indusface and its future.
Now, Venkatesh, you along with Ashish and Nandini founded Indusface in 2012. The company has definitely come a long way. What do you think really led to the creation of Indusface?
We found that I had the product technology knowledge, and with my international exposure and having come back from US back to India. And Ashish, as he just now said, business runs in his blood, being born and brought up in, not born, but brought up in Gujarat, certainly runs in his blood. And the fact that he was a cricketer also, I'm passionate cricket watcher, and he is a passionate, and he was an ex-cricket player. So we got together, and Nandini had the organizational skills. Ashish had the selling skills, and I had the product building skills. And that combined with, we felt the market was big enough. It's not just an idea that we solve for passion, but it's not just about money. It's also making a lot of money and building a brand. That combined with the combination of talent, helped us really take the plunge, and it's been pretty exciting and rewarding.
So Ashish, what do you think are some of the key milestones that have added to your growth trajectory?
Before we founded Indusface, we had, I had built a security firm which was securing, customers' web applications and mobile applications for malware, and that product we were able to sell to the largest enterprise security product company based out of the US called Trend Micro. So that transaction helped us in two ways. One, of course, it gave us the capital, which we were able to use to incorporate Indusface and bring it to this level. And second, more importantly, was that we were able to establish ourselves that we can build a world-class scalable security product out of India, and that helped us attract a lot of good talent into our company.
Nandini, do you want to add up to that?
I think the idea of aligning the right mid-management team and building on the founding team was very, very critical as well. So I think that together with a lot of hard work and belief in ourselves, like I earlier said, made it very exciting.
Venkatesh, any milestones that you would like to count?
Found out that the market itself was public cloud adoption was going up. The security was becoming a boardroom discussion, and it was becoming like a must-have oxygen ventilator for businesses. And we had the specialized skill set to provide the oxygen ventilator, because if businesses have a security issue, they can go down. And taking that pain away from them was becoming a pressing need. And with this expanding market, we felt was a very big factor and a turning point for us to embark on this journey.
Now, as I understand, SaaS is a cost-effective alternative to the traditional IT deployment. Venkatesh, can you tell us about the different security solutions or services that you offer to your customers?
If you really think about it from as a business, whether it be a media company like yourself or yourself, Lata, or any business, whether it's a cab riding platform or a banking or a traditional brick and mortar, central to their business is some applications, and we are making the promise of securing those applications. So we do two things and two offerings. One is risk detection, which will give them a visibility of what are all the risks of exploitations on their applications. And the second thing we do is risk protection, which will make sure not only do we identify the risk, but we will protect them. And we package it with a 24/7 support service that we'll manage it on an ongoing basis.
Coming back to you, Nandini, we all know that COVID-19 has disrupted businesses across the globe, and it has also demonstrated the importance of digital readiness. Can you talk to us about the key cyber tech trends that the market is witnessing right now?
Yeah, so I mean, as you rightly said, the pandemic has changed the world we work, the way we work, and but thankfully, for Indusface, being a technology company, and a very interesting fact that 80% of our team members are millennials. We already had a very evolved and flexible work practices, which include work from home and, of course, the supporting tools to collaborate that. So, with regards to the change that the pandemic has brought about in our work cultures, for us at Indusface, this move has been extremely seamless. Of course, we've had to make some minor tweaks to certain practices to ensure that we meet with all our compliances. But other than that, I'm extremely happy that we haven't been affected hugely.
So, Venkatesh, what do you think the organizations can do to protect themselves from the undiscovered cyber threats?
First thing is accept the fact that if you're online and you have an online application, there is a risk. There is a possibility of abuse. And the possibility of abuse is there is going to be an abuse that can eventually happen. Now that once you acknowledge this problem and the risk is there, it's not just about risk as well, right? For you, the credibility, when you do business, and most of these businesses are also offering SaaS solutions and some sort of a service to their customers themselves will trust doing business with them, independent of whether they get breached or not, only if they proactively show to them that, yes, we are taking your subscription to us and your data seriously, and we are proactively addressing those security risks. So the customers have to make sure that not just for the risk of hackable risk, protecting those hacks, but also to show that before an incident happens, I am taking your data seriously, and hence I can build the trust with the customer.
All right, now Ashish, according to the Indian Private Equity Report 2020, the Indian SaaS market is expected to grow from $6 billion in 2019 to more than $20 billion by 2022. Looking at the current pandemic situation, what do you think will be the key factors that will drive the cybersecurity market in India?
One is digitalization. I don't think anybody can argue that digitalization in India is moving at a rampant speed, and any business you can think of or a government organization you can think of either are digitalized or would be digitalized very soon. So that is a reality. But however, with digitalization comes the challenge of now that you're exposed to your applications are exposed to internet, and which also leads to breaches, right? There is a statistics which was released very recently by India's security research organization called CERT, which has confirmed that the security breaches in the last 1 year have increased threefold. So, while we are looking at digitalization, security breach is also a reality. And the third aspect is the regulators are taking a note of this of digitalization and the security concerns. They have come up with policies and procedures and made it mandatory, that organizations have to implement a proper security framework within those organizations.
It's time for a short break on Startup Angels, movers and shakers of startup ecosystem. But stay with us as the conversation with the co-founders of Indusface continues on the other side.
With Indusface, our relationship is built on interaction, and that is a continuous engagement with the entire team. The second thing, which is very important, is that we have worked together and covered a model which looks after the different types of risks in the bank. And the third is about value, which is taking the whole model to a state where it can scale on demand depending on the bank's requirements, and at the same time the risks are effectively mitigated. So I would say those in summary are the three things that we consider to be important when engaging with Indusface.
Welcome back. You're watching Startup Angels, movers and shakers of startup ecosystem, and we're in conversation with the co-founders of Indusface. Now, we spoke about the journey of Indusface, the different solutions that you offer, the impact of pandemic on cybersecurity market, and the risks involved. Let me come to you first, Nandini. COVID-19 has accelerated demand for cloud-based offerings, and the trend is likely to persist. How are you meeting the growing demand for web and cloud-based security solutions?
Right from the very beginning of when we founded Indusface, what we were very clear about is the fact that to deliver a top-notch solution, you need a world-class team on all fronts. So be it the engineering team, or be it the innovation lab, or be it the services group. We've had our focus on selecting the top talent that is out there. What is very interesting to also note is that in the recent few years, we've seen a surge in young professionals, both men and women, choosing cybersecurity as a career. So that, backed with the brand that we enjoy today in the application security space, has helped help meet the business needs that we have, move and innovate faster, and align with our plans.
Indusface is growing at an incredible pace. You cater to more than 2,000 global customers from different industry domains. Ashish, can you tell us more about your customer portfolio?
We are extremely proud of these customers which we have been able to attract not only from India but across the world. Name a vertical and 2 or 3 of the top 5 customers within that vertical would be our customers in India. For example, let's look at banking. So ICICI, IndusInd Bank, Axis Bank, whether they are insurance companies, HDFC Life, Bajaj Allianz, Aegon Life, or large enterprises, Tatas, Aditya Birlas, L&T Group, and then of course we have the startups. I mean, that's the fastest growing segment for us. And we are acquiring customers as we speak.
Now, Ashish, I would like to know your views on the Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign. How do you think this campaign will help SaaS companies or startups start riding the innovation wave?
I think we would be a shining example of both Make in India as well as Atmanirbhar Bharat perspective. Indusface is a 100% made in India company, so that holds good for us. And the second aspect is predominantly Indian businesses and governments have always used security products made out of the US or Israel to take care of the security aspects. We are extremely proud that in our space we are the largest player in the country, which essentially means that our product is good and better than some of these international competitors we had. And it also fulfills the Atmanirbhar call that now India has a product company which can fulfill their requirements locally.
Coming to you now, Venkatesh, what are your views on the Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign?
Atmanirbhar is all about self-reliance, but it doesn't mean just look inwards. You be self-sufficient, but at the same time, we also have to have global aspirations. In spite of the pandemic, in spite of all this, I think a Make in India product that can go global is certainly, that does not change.
All right. Now, Ashish, we know that partners play a pivotal role in enhancing overall proposition of the business. And lately, you raised growth equity capital from Tata Capital Growth Fund too. If you can talk to us about that as well.
Apart from providing us growth capital, which is of course very important and will help us accelerate our efforts in acquiring new customers, not only in India but globally. The brand and the trust which the Tata organization brings on the table is clearly visible. The kind of customers and partnership discussions that are opening up, and we are signing up not only in India but globally, which is fantastic. Tata Capital is also helping us bring in a lot of operational discipline within our organization.
So for the next question, I want all three of you to answer. Going forward, what are your expansion plans for Indusface?
There are three areas we are going to focus on in terms of expansion of Indusface going forward. One, of course, we are doubling down on our sales and marketing expenses, essentially to make sure that we get the customer acquisition part gets accelerated not only in India but globally. The second area we're investing is in our partner relationships and partnering opportunities across the world. We have recently partnered with two of the large, globally well-known managed security service providers like Tata and Tech Mahindra, and we intend to add to that list so that we can our reach becomes better and bigger. And finally, being a technology company, innovation is the most important cornerstone of any security product company, and we are definitely investing big time, not only organically, but we are also looking at opportunities of partnering or even acquiring some of the exciting innovative startups which have complementary technology to add to our product.
Okay, Nandini?
I think Ashish and Venki mentioned that anything that is now in the new normal has to be virtual, has to be online, and anything that's virtual doesn't go without getting secured. So I think we've got the right recipe in place. It's just about us to go out there and secure the world.
All right, Venkatesh?
For me, as part of this journey and the go-to-market strategy and everything, is getting a leadership position on an established market is a certain game. But when the market is expanding, there is a brick and mortar restaurant, who never even thought of an online business because it was nicely going on. The COVID has forced them to embrace digitization, and digitization is going to be enabled through an app. And that app needs security. And hence, there's going to be more apps, and hence the market is going to expand. And we have an opportunity to be a leadership, or have a leadership position, not just a player, but a leadership position in this expanding market.
Lastly, Ashish, what is the future of Indusface in the new normal, and where do you see the company in the next 5 to 6 years?
Digital, data, cloud, and security are the four new normals, according to me. Any progressive business, if he wants to be relevant in the world, will be relying on. And as I mentioned, for digitalization, you need the only way to deal with their customers or partners or employees is through applications. There are more than 1 billion plus applications in the world. So that kind of, that gives us a huge landscape in terms of opportunity in front of us and growth opportunities for Indusface. I keep joking with my team that, I missed out on playing for my country as a cricketer, but at Indusface, we have an opportunity to build something big and relevant for the world, which our country can be proud of.
True, and as the saying goes, once a sportsman, always a sportsman. Ashish, Nandini, and Venkatesh, we wish you all the very best, and thank you for joining us on Startup Angels, movers and shakers of startup ecosystem. Thank you, and keep watching CNBC TV18.
This was an opportune time for us to invest in Indusface, given the environment that we are in. People working from home, increasing digitization. Indusface is truly an Indian product company that has been built from scratch on a shoestring budget. Ashish, the founders and the senior management team have brought it to a certain level where external capital will help take it to achieve greater heights. And we are very happy to be partnering with Indusface on this journey.
At LTI, our enterprise applications are hosted across a heterogeneous environment, on-premise and multi-cloud. We were looking at a WAF that works by focusing on attacker-centric behavior rather than merely on signatures to mitigate the risk from application vulnerabilities. After being impressed with the technology and services offering, we decided to take the leap and partner with Indusface to protect our enterprise application footprint.
Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.